welcome to episode 76. I think it's 76. Pretty sure it's episode 76 of Cinema Curse. Tonight, all the stars are here, literally, in Project Hail Mary and the Super Mario Galaxy movie, figuratively, with Zendaya and Robert Pattinson in the drama, and Anne Hathaway as pop star royalty and Mother Mary, and some people star in Lee Cronin's The Mummy. I'm your wicked game master, Connor Lloyd Crews, and I am joined here today by Bri Robert.
Hey guys, how are you?
Scott Heaton.
Hey everyone, good to see you.
And Daisygreen Stenhouse.
Hello.
It's been 800 days since the strike ended and the AMPTP still sucks. I want to thank Marina Sakamoto for the use of her song Curse, her band Shunkin off the EP She Nods for our opening. How is everybody doing?
Great.
I'm doing
good.
So watched the long movie. I finished rereading the Watchmen book, and we just watched the director's cut. And my book is an incredible novel. It's like just like a beautiful book. The movie is like hearing like a local cover band do a cover of an incredible song.
Yeah.
But
I just watched Thrash. Did you guys see Thrash?
Oh, it's on my list. How is that?
Great question.
Interesting.
There was
introduce stuff you don't want to talk about.
No. I had a fundamental misunderstanding with the two other people who watched it, which is at the very beginning of the movie before the storm hits, they're filling an oil tanker with blood from a meat factory.
As you do.
But they never say it's blood. Mm-hmm. And visually it's an oil tanker.
Yeah.
Wow.
So me mentally, I somehow was like, I guess they need a lot of oil for the meat factory or something. Yeah. And then
Daniel Plainville is just really all about that.
I was like, okay. And then it spills in the water. And I was like, they're trying to tell me that the sharks are looking at this dark liquid in the water and think it's blood.
We struck rich. There's oil in that water.
The whole movie, I was waiting for them to set the oil on fire. I was like, well, this is great. They're setting up that the whole city's going to be on fire at the end of the movie. No, it was blood. It was blood the whole time, and it attracted the sharks.
Just thrashed.
So no going in that it's an oil tanker full of blood.
Oh yeah.
The other joke will make more sense.
Other joke I thought of is when I say I'm a blood man, you'll know that I'm mean business.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of, I don't know. Let's talk about our first. I got today. I did the theme of the lowest res images I could find. Here's old
nice.
Sly Stallone. Project Hail Mary. Who wants to describe? Give a brief summary of the plot of Project Hail Mary. Oh, I disappeared. I was consumed by Stallone.
Yeah.
I can do it real quick, actually, because it's pretty basic.
Yeah.
Man goes to space. Man gets lost in space. He's hopeless. He finds friend. They do a thing. He gets places.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling's amazing. He's the perfect person to play this film. I'm just gonna say real quick my big letterbox thing was just, I think my soul is way too dark for this movie, and it's the sweetest thing I've ever seen in my life, and I'm happy it exists, and I'm happy we got to see it the way it did. But it's a movie that sort of, it's like a plot wise, it's like The Martian or Sunshine type of thing, but it's a very, very hopeful, very silly, very well done,
and it's without sacrificing the seriousness of the situation. What everybody think? I know, Scott, you've seen it a bunch.
Yeah, I've seen it 4 times now because they keep playing it on IMAX 70 millimeters. So,
and it's funny because the first time you saw it, you didn't rate it as high as you've been liking it. So that second time really put it over for you.
The third time is what the first 2 times I gave it 4 stars. The second 2 times I gave it 4.5 stars. It's just like tremendous like crowd pleasing entertainment that is really well made, but like see it 4 times, it like the same jokes land every single time, and people love Rocky, and
Rocky's great.
they just like the first time I thought it was a little too sweet the first time, his manic pixie dream boy persona, like especially in the beginning, is maybe a little much, but by the end, you just kind of surrender to it. And so by the last 2 times I watched it, I was just like, yeah, this is the story, this is the character. And so like that sweetness didn't necessarily it tastes sweet. But I think it looks like the filmmaking is just incredible on a scale that we don't normally get. And I'm glad it was a hit. I'm glad it did well, just because it gives hope for like big budget movies from filmmakers with a vision. And good for these guys. It's been a while.
Oh yeah.
The last film was 22 Jump Street.
Oh wow, that has been a long time. Wow.
Well, they've been consumed by the Spider-Verse stuff.
Yeah, they've been producing a lot. They were going to do the Solo movie, Han Solo.
Yeah,
they got fired from that halfway through filming, and
which is why there's a character in that named Therm Scissor Punch. That's not a joke. That's a real thing.
Yeah,
I like that it could be either though. That's the best part about that.
Yeah.
It explains a lot about that movie, that it was meant originally to be kind of a joke, and that when you actually watch the movie and everything, every important thing that happens to Han Solo happens in 1 week.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Well, it does. I mean, I haven't seen Solo, but having seen Project Hail Mary, it does feel like, I want to watch their version of Solo.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
That has like a real sense of humor to it, and like I think I really enjoyed the movie. I think I wasn't like so I'd also this was a strange thing going in. I'd just been with a group of people who basically don't watch movies, but they all loved the book, and so they were all really excited for this movie. It's like non-LA friends being like, I never go to the movies, but I'm going to go see this one movie. And they were like raving about the book. And so I went in a little bit being like, okay, I'm feeling like I'm not going to 100% agree with the reviews that are all being like, this is the pinnacle of filmmaking.
Yeah.
I just was like, I don't think I'm going to feel that way. Yeah. And I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was so funny. I think Ryan Gosling is incredible. I thought Rocky was incredible. I thought it was a little bit long.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And I got the only thing I got at that was a note for me other than the length was there was actually some of the science stuff that I was like, I wish I were tracking this better.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was some of the space stuff that I was like, wait, which planet is this? Or which which thing is this that anytime I'm kind of a little confused, I get out a bit.
In terms of the length, I know what you mean. That I would say that without getting into the specifics of it, there's kind of a back and forth that happens at the end that I think probably could have been like simplified in some sort of way.
Yeah.
But
intercut in a way that just makes it like dynamically like we're in and out of that.
My understanding is that's a much longer part in the book. Like it's like the last like third or some shit of the book. And in the movie it's like the last like 20 minutes. And it makes sense because just on a movie level you kind of need to get going. I think I liked it. I think it's like a little too wholesome for me right now. Like I'm also in like a dark place right now. I'm sort of like I'm kind of Dune pilled. I need a blockbuster that ends with the main character realizing everything is useless and walking into the desert to die. Spoiler alerts.
No, that's a fun time at the movies right now. It's absolutely.
It's the one other thing I was gonna say is it's you mentioned something about the cuteness of it, and I saw people bouncing off of it because of perceived like cringiness,
And it could have been that way so easily, though. And that's where Ryan Gosling, again, is the magician behind this whole entire project.
I remember our friend Josh Salisbury, he like posted something about that on his review on Letterboxd, and I gotta say, I think people are weak. I think if you're gonna walk out because if you're like, oh, I'm upset because there's like, oh, science is great line, like you gotta embrace it. You have to look down the barrel of the gun and say, hey, I've seen worse. I had another friend who I actually unfollowed again because they had a really negative review, and I clicked on it, and the first thing in the review was like something about a movie for retail workers or something, and I was like, okay, whatever, get the fuck out of here.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Edgelord statement. There's no movie behind it.
In terms of, I forget which one of you was just saying this to start, but like in terms of like big budget, crowd pleasing movies, like I'm so happy that this is what's hitting. You know, that it's like a incredibly well made, not just completely in a computer, like interesting characters, fun story, like Sandra Hüller, you know, like cool cast, like some weirder tonal moments. Like it's like a grown up movie that doesn't play to the like, oh, people who are not film nerds want to only watch like the lowest common denominator of movie, which I think is so great. Like it feels like it plays to the top of like a general audience's intelligence, and so few big budget movies do that anymore. And that I think was what was so refreshing about it.
Well, the amount of times I'm sorry, Scott, go ahead.
There's just 2 movies out right now that like I feel like my parents would like. Project Hail Mary is one of them. Like I feel like that's a movie I can like recommend to anyone. And like so when I say that, my parents would like, I mean in a good way.
And the drama.
The other movie, the other movie I imagine my parents are going to like is Michael.
Oh yeah.
I mean that in a bad way, but I just like, but this is a movie that I would recommend to just about anyone.
Totally.
You should take him to see Faces of Death. I think they'd enjoy that.
Well, it doesn't really matter what I take my dad to. He's going to sleep through it. So,
you know, you should take him to a screening of Bellator's Satan Tango, and you get a real nice long nap in. It's like 5 hours. Are you ready to move on to The Mummy?
The
Mummy. And I got star of The Mummy, Brendan Fraser behind me.
He was so good. He was really good.
What was that?
Him from what? Oh, I thought that was his whale photo.
Oh, it is him from The Whale.
It is, yeah.
That is okay. Yeah.
That is him from The Whale.
That epic photo.
Just game ready for The Mummy. Yeah.
I just remember when that movie came out, like that was the only still they ever showed. Any single like article about it was just like
the movie is just this still with like audio playing on it.
I mean, it might be.
Yeah.
Thanks for the chatter, Alaraki. Yeah, they say they really like The Mummy. I like The Mummy. I think me and Bri saw it together. I liked it more than Bri. I think it's too long. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is too long. It's like half an hour too long for this kind of movie. But it's pretty good, like DLC for Evil Dead Rise, which I loved. So if you liked that movie, you'll probably like a lot of this. There's a lot of good bits. It's I mean, to say what the plot is, it's sort of taking elements of it's doing, you know, it kind of its own thing by using aspects of The Exorcist and The Mummy and a couple of other things. But it is the actual lore of it isn't like, I would say, directly ripping anything off necessarily. I mean, it's definitely taking the most from just like the Evil Dead franchise again.
The whole thing is, I mean, we said it. It's like this clearly was supposed to be a sequel to Rise, you know. And I love Rise a lot as well. To preface that, and I think that was the thing, because that DLC is spot on with it, because you can feel how this would fit into this, and that's where it kind of could take me out a little bit. But that's, I think, because of how much of a fan I was of Evil Dead Rise.
But there's lots of good bits. I will say the little girl's great. There's a videotape scene towards the end that I think is like genuinely very upsetting. I think we had some walkouts during that actually.
Okay, I was actually trying to think which movie could we recently saw with the walkouts. That's right. Yeah, it was that with kids. It's
not even a gory scene necessarily. It's just a very distressing scene. There's a bit involving a toenail that's great. I won't say. I'll just tease that.
That freaked the crowd out. Yeah, for sure. I could feel that. Squeamish.
There's probably the best sequence is there's a wake where a bunch of shit goes down. Apparently the studio was not particularly happy. I think they wanted a more like, the guy behind me, Brendan Fraser, like big 4 quadrant mummy movie, and you have this movie that's extremely gory and has like a little girl saying the C word like dozens of times.
Like early on too, and that's the thing. If you're maybe somebody who is a casual moviegoer and you're like, man, I know the Brendan Fraser stuff is good. I know it's a little different, but your brain's not going to go to that extreme level. I can see them freaking out a little bit, because it did go really hard for like the Mummy. You're thinking it's a universal thing. How crazy is it going to get?
And some funny stuff too, some of which I think was intentional in that like Evil Dead-y way. Like I do like how they just kind of immediately take her back, like whatever. I guess she's been in like a mummy coffin for 8 years. Or the thing that made me like almost laugh out loud in the theater was when they get her there and they're dragging her up the stairs in her wheelchair, just like one step at a time, like gunk, gunk.
Yeah, like let her settle in for like a minute. Like they're literally straight from the car and just like, we got this huge staircase of wood here. Let's just do it. Like that was bafflingly weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of liked it though. I thought it was funny.
It was erratic. I mean, that's the thing. There were a lot of good bits, but again, if you cut out a half an hour of it, you definitely have a lot more fun with it, I think, overall. I mean, but even like the voice thing, they'd use the same voiceover that they do for Evil Dead Rise when they're like explaining lore, basically.
Yeah.
And that was funny to kind of hear that, because it's like, this is literally the same thing.
Yeah, but yeah, the Mummy. If you liked Evil Dead Rise, you should check it out. It's worth seeing. Let's skip on over to Mother Mary. Got Mother Monster behind me. And I don't, Scott, why don't you try to give a brief summary of whatever the fuck happens in Mother Mary?
Who plays pop star Mother Mary returns to her former best friend and former stylist because she needs a dress for her comeback show.
Yeah,
that would be the premise of the movie.
That premise alone, I was like, I'm so fucking in. I was ready.
And then what follows? Fucking weird shit. Last night, I dug it. I dug the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Anne Hathaway is excellent. They're both excellent.
The two of them together, they're ridiculous together.
There were like long stretches of the movie where it was just a two-handler.
Yeah.
And they're both great.
I know what sequence you're talking about too. It's like kind of toward the third, where they were really having it like that final, like, we're figuring this shit out together kind of thing.
In the beginning, when it was just like when she gets to her place.
Oh, sure. They're just chilling.
And then the assistant leaves, and it's just the two of them.
There's like a half hour of it.
I would say like at least 20 minutes. Yeah. Like, which I thought was amazing because, like, imagine the budget of this wasn't huge, and there's some really great. You can see like how they like made it rather cheap, but like the concert scenes and the pop star stuff scenes, I imagine ate a lot of that budget. So. It makes sense that it's a 30-minute scene of just two people talking and absolutely riveting.
Yeah. And I think David Lowery knows. I love the way after this, I'm now like fully on board with him. Like I liked Ghost Story a lot. Because Casey Affleck's dead to begin with, so you're like, oh, fuck it, this is great. And then I really like that, and I did like Green Knight, but it didn't hold, like, thematically, it wasn't my, like, go-to place in it. This is very much my go-to place, and, like, I thought everything about it was incredible. Like, very, very gorgeous. Like, some of those transitional shots almost felt like a stage play. Like, there was one moment where they're doing a timeline thing, and, like, the lighting comes on as if they're lighting a stage play. And it's just those those little intricacies that I think that's what made this film so fun for me, because it allowed the weirdness, but wasn't juxtaposed all like, what the fuck are we doing in a bad way? You know, like it's just throwing everything at it. And ultimately, I think I said in my review, it's the gayest thing I've seen all year. I mean, those two, they are like the most sapphic. This is the most sapphic film I've ever seen without two people realizing that they're literally just doing ultimate lesbian things. It was amazing. Like the dynamic of them figuring themselves out and like what they've learned in the 15 years or whatever it was they were separable. That's just, it was really, really, like, again, like Scott said, it just jumps right back into this thing. And it's so like intense the entire time. It was the two of them that just made it. So between David Lowery and those two, I was just like, this is it. And the music was great. Also, Charlie XCX rock.
It's really funny, the Wikipedia description. Whenever I'm writing my notes for these, I always go to the Wikipedia description and read it. And it's a shorter one that hasn't been expanded yet. And it describes the relationship between the two women as friends. Which is
I mean, yeah, you see this, any real friends, this movie's 15 minutes long.
It's a very funny movie. It's funny because there was definitely like a lot of people at my screening, and there was a handful of people when the credits rolled that you could tell they were just like slap their knees, like, here's all my thoughts about the movie and my understanding of everything in it. And I was just like, this is not the movie. Not the movie to do that. Like I was kind of glad I saw it alone, because you could just kind of.
I saw it in the afternoon, like the first screening of that Thursday. So it was like the people who really wanted to be there. But there was a dude a couple seats over from me. He did the audible yawns thing, you know, just enough to be like, I'm drawing attention to myself that I'm not happy with this, what we're doing right now. Because it definitely is not a film for everybody.
I saw it myself, but when I was walking in, I saw a group of people who were like, "Oh, you think you're seeing like a Gaga, like pops, like you think that's what this movie's mostly about." And there'll be moments for you, but like there's going to be long stretches that might not be for you. And when it was over, I could hear them. They're like, "Huh, that movie," and like you could like they kind of liked it, but it wasn't exactly what they expected.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I did not know who wrote and directed it when I went to go see it. So it was over, and it said written and directed by David Lowery. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That sounds about right. Okay, it seems like I just watched a David Lowery movie.
Yeah, I liked it a lot once it got. I would say it's probably my second favorite of all the movies we're talking about here. I liked it a lot once it got going. I do think the first act is a little long. The first act is long, and then the second act is short, because the second, I mean, for people who've seen it, the second act is like the two stories, I think, that the women tell each other. But it's I thought it was very Lynchian, especially there's some stuff with an orb. That's very Lynchian, as you can tell by me describing it as some stuff with an orb. And
that's again stuff he would utilize in Green Knight that just took it otherworldly, which I really appreciate about him.
I'm not really sure what it means. I don't know. Like, I would have to I mean, it's just, I guess it's just about their relationship, you know. But I feel like there's
sort of where they're at, because I think especially like, you know, it's a lot about identity too. There was the whole bit with like that and the feeling of like, and who runs the identity, because you have this pop star that's like dictated by one person who has this one creativity element, and it's so conflicting because of where they've grown as each individual. I mean, I think one of the first things they say is like, you know, because as she's looking around and everything, and she just sees like, where did you get this? She's like, I've been working my ass off for the last 15 years while you were off being a pop star, you know. And I thought that was like really, because you felt those worlds combine, and it was sort of like, well, who are we now as people? And I felt like that was where the journey really was, is finding their true selves in it all, which is what I vibe of. Yeah,
there's something in it about, like, I don't know, the way that, like, some sort of acknowledgement of the idea of like this idea of the Mother Mary, the pop star, is also the Michaela Cole character is part of that as well, and it's not just Anne Hathaway. There's something there going on that I couldn't tell you exactly. I've seen people compare it to like I Saw the TV Glow, and I kind of get that because it's kind of a like not exactly a horror movie that is like more about the like the meaning and stuff. But I think I Saw the TV Glow has such a clear like idea, like it's like very clearly about this thing, and this one's a little more opaque, but still really good.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Or did you mean to do that?
I did not mean to do that, but I
That's funny.
got it when you said it.
I'm a big fan of that movie, Billy, so.
It's a really good movie, me too.
Yeah.
Let me
I was thinking about one other thing real quick, and when you mentioned the whole like Lady Gaga and your crowd, Scott, the other movie that I remember came out, I remember seeing it at the Dome, and it was like a sold out first opening night, Vox Lux.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Like, it was like everybody was in that theater, like literally this is going to be the night where we're just freaking out. There's Lady Gaga vibe, everything here. And I have never seen a crowd dissipate so quickly. And I was so fucking happy because I didn't know anything. And I'm just like, oh shit. But that you could feel the entire dome just, they're gone. You know, it was funny. And then it went off crazy rails after that. I recommend that one always.
Yeah. Well, do we have any other thoughts about Mummy Mary, the second Mummy movie we're talking about tonight? No? All right.
Go see it.
I think it's time to move on to the drama. And we might have an extra guest here, but I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see what happens. The drama, Daisygreen, you want to give a brief summary of the drama?
Sure. The drama. The drama is a film starring Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. They are an engaged couple who, the week of their wedding, Robert Pattinson learns something about Zendaya's past that sends everyone, them, their friends, all sorts of people sort of spiraling ahead of the wedding.
Yeah. I love this. I loved it. When I made my notes, Scott, originally you weren't going to be here. I specifically, I love your description of the film as like a George plot from Seinfeld. And
I was thinking about more. I think it's more of a Jerry plot.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But a plot from Seinfeld, definitely. I feel like for the George plot, think about this. For the George plot, there's a George storyline. He would be mad that in the George storyline, everyone hears Zendaya's what she did and would actually be inspired by her story. And he would be upset that she didn't tell the worst thing she did. He's like, that's actually a good thing that she did. She didn't tell the worst thing that she did. George version of that.
We might need to I think we're just going to throw up spoilers immediately because it's kind of impossible to talk about the movie. It's
impossible, yeah.
Basically, we find out that she planned and nearly executed, basically got to the tip, had the gun, made the videos, and was about to do a school shooting as a teenager, and decided at the very last minute to duck out, mainly because there was another school shooting across.
There was another shooting,
across town.
I think it was at the mall.
Yeah, it was at the mall.
Which the movie plays ambivalently, but you can kind of read a couple different ways. I mean, I would say I kind of read it as like her seeing the impact on people.
Well, because definitely, I think that's because she was saying how she was playing a character essentially that kind of ran away, and seeing that other shooting was like, hey, this is how this ends. This is what that is. Yeah. And no one's impressed with you. No one's going, oh, wow, we should have litzed. They think you're a piece of shit, and then they forget about you.
And they're sad that their friends died.
Exactly. And in the meantime, a bunch of people's lives are ruined.
Yeah.
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 Sorry, you're going to be in a manifesto now. Jeez. Watch, be careful.
I had a lot of feelings about this movie before seeing it because I was I thought the marketing did a very good job actually in just telling you, hey, the premise of the movie is she did something great that everybody's shocked by, and there's all this fallout, but there was such a buildup over the spoiler, it was the twist. And I was like, I don't think it's going to be the twist. I think it looks like it's the premise of the film.
Yeah, totally.
And so I had it spoiled to me ahead of time because they started, which I know that there was then some like pushback to this of like, I think it was TMZ like posted a story about like a Columbine parent coming out against the drama. And I was like, okay, well, so I'm gathering what her secret was, like.
I knew it was something about guns.
Yeah. I knew it was something about a school shooting.
I didn't even pick up like school shooting. I knew like a school, but I was like, I thought maybe she like looked the other way when she saw like a school shooter or something like.
Sure. Right. I thought it could have been that. But I will say, like, going into it, knowing that, and then because I knew the Columbine thing, someone was like, oh, you know it already, and then was like, she was going to do a school shooting. But I will say, I saw it with people who didn't know what the thing was going to be. And I had, I think, just as good of a time watching it.
Yeah.
Which to me, I think is the sign of, like, I loved it. I think that is also the sign of, like, a really good, like, again, not a twist, the premise of the film. That I was like both going in not knowing what it was going to be about and going in knowing what it was going to be about, like great experiences all around, which I think is like, that's a win to me rather than like, when something hangs entirely on like shock value, which I don't feel like this did.
No. But I'll be honest, I did not know the twist going in, and it didn't like when it happened. It was like, okay, again, it's a premise, like I'm thinking,
it's a premise of the film
going to happen, and I was like, okay, so basically and my only thing, the back half, I'm just like, oh, so we're really just lack of communication in this relationship, okay, but and it's really like I couldn't stop thinking about, but then just kind of I played from there, and it was, I mean. Those two are insane together. That's just,
my God,
so good is because of those two. If you cast that shit any differently, it wouldn't have done anything.
Yeah.
It is just really one of those. It's again, it's the same thing I think about Gosling. Like you cast it any differently, this is a whole different thing.
Yeah, I do.
Trilogy with that couple, these two actors. They appeared in The Odyssey and then in Dude. I loved Patterson plays the same character that he plays in the drama. I think
he's playing
he freaks out and tries
Talaxu face dancer.
Yeah, who freaks out and tries to fuck his coworker days before his wedding.
Exactly. I want him to be on.
That's what you just do. You got to get some stress out. It's tough out there.
He'll get really stressed out during the war and then almost fuck his coworker.
I was just like, oh, this is how you do everything wrong in this back half. Okay.
So I've seen it twice, and I saw it the second time. I saw it with Nyra over at the Vista, and it played really well still a second time knowing what happens. It's really, really, really funny. I think specifically, like, it's just really funny. Like, there's so many.
It's so funny.
The bit when she walks in with the knife, it reminds me so much of the Simpsons bit in Cape Fear, where Bart Simpson is like hiding out from Sideshow Bob, and then Homer walks in with like a pan of brownies and a knife, and is like, "Bart, do you want a brownie?" But yeah,
the dark humor elements are great. Like I love that writing style. I think, Scott, you were calling it out in that and your review as well. That was my favorite part. So between the performances and those, I think it was just the overall, like, the way everything played out was what took it away from me. But everything else is really, really great. No, I really loved it, and I think. I know some people got kind of offended by like the tone on this topic, and like, I mean, I am someone who does kind of think we should be able to laugh about everything, but like, especially I think like a movie that is kind of like about gun control in this country and like mass school shootings in this country, like, is always relevant, but also like, I think taking the position of like, you have to laugh at this point. Like, we're doing it to ourselves. Like, it's become. There were two last week, I think.
Especially considering the fact that it's made by a non-American, and you can tell because they frame it like that a little bit with Robert Pattinson's character. Because he's British, where a couple times he's like, I don't know, it's an American thing. Like,
She's like, I don't know, they just like want to shoot up schools. Like, I guess.
I think that's the absurdity of the rest of the world.
Exactly.
Looking down on us.
I agree.
That's why.
We've all been there, like, as Americans. We've all been groomed by the secret government organization to kill people. We understand the cultural zeitgeist, but you know.
Yeah, we were talking about that, Daisygreen. I'll say this: I knew before. I didn't know what the twist was at all. The one thing I hoped before I saw the movie for the first time is I was like, I knew I was gonna like it as long as the twist had nothing to do with sex. That was the one thing I was worried about. I was like, if the twist has anything to do with sex, like it's gonna bum me out. Because it's just going to be like normal, like, oh, she had was in a gangbang or whatever. It's like, who fucking cares? Whereas like this is like this. You know what I mean? Like you can see like that's the shitty version of this same movie. You know what I mean? Like that's the version that like maybe not even the shitty version, but it's the version like the Farrelly brothers made 30 years ago or something.
This is basically like
chasing Amy.
This is basically like finding out your ex used to be a Scientologist.
Yeah.
I think a couple of the things I really go ahead.
Like Elena Haynes' character, like I think like her being shocked, like she couldn't believe this because she would never think that, and people don't think that way. But I think Robert Pattinson's character comes from like, I don't know, a lot of you seem to think that way. Like it happens all the time.
All the time.
Yeah,
I love where the moral compass is too. That's the other big thing. Is like obviously our gun issue is so desensitized that it's like Alana Haim has a terrible thing that she's describing. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. No, but that to me was one of my favorite parts because I'm like, I was watching it being like, what she did was way worse. Like, you know, like without question to me, what she did was way worse. And I think that is such an interesting choice for the film as well, that it's like no one's cutting her out of their life for like actually being like cruel and torturing someone where like we're trying to police this thing of sort of like policing like what people like think about doing in their worst moments. As
intrusive
if
thoughts.
As if that is the same as following through on that harm.
Who's never held a baby and just been like, what if I just like fucking spiraled this thing like a goddamn pigskin? Like
my favorite thing. I've been called a psycho for it by people, but I literally my favorite thing is to be like when I used to be like at a corporate meeting or something. I would just be like, what is the worst thing that if you just do this thing, what's the worst thing that you could do in this scenario to just fuck it all up? It's obviously I'm never ever in my life.
Right.
But you're just your brain is just, especially my ADHD brain that just drifts quickly. I am into that where I'm just like, all right, what would happen? And I think that's what that. Versus me actually going and fucking shit up down, it's two different things.
Every time you go on a commercial airline, you're like, I just want to scream and punch everyone and steal the parachute and jump out the back,
Start screaming how a red eye is happening.
No, I love that. And I also I thought it had a really, I haven't seen this director's other movies, but the editing style to me with the like flashbacks and the like jump cuts, and even towards the end there's like a time where we jump way ahead in the evening and then jump back and fill in some pieces. I found the editing to be like some of the most sort of like emotionally driven editing that I've seen, that in a way that I really, really appreciated. I
think he may have cut it himself.
Did he?
I don't know.
Because I know that like I'm pretty sure Dream Scenario he cut, so it just would make sense from that. Remember Scott and I, we went to that Q&A for him. I feel like he was that filmmaker would kind of do that, so which would make sense.
His stuff kind of reminds me of like the early like Spike Jonze Charlie Kaufman collaboration. Like a tonal sense. It's like walking down that, like being John Malkovich, that similar sort of different plot. Obviously not as like fantastical, but and the school shooting,
but there was an absurdity to it. There was totally an absurdity to it.
Well, and I think that does play into the desensitized, how desensitized we are with the guns. We have a shooting, there's outrage, but then what? Nothing. Till the next one, outrage, then what? Nothing. It's the same repeat. We're like, but people want to like clutch pearls at the instant moment of it. So the idea that you could do something like that is but again, like actually doing bad shit in life, like there's so many who do. It's just life.
Yeah, I liked the idea that like, in the movie, we sort of present the idea that, like, what happened to her isn't unique. What happened to her wasn't even that bad, necessarily, in terms of, like, what motivated her to it. But to be honest, that's probably, like, how, like, a lot of that stuff is gonna, like, end up working. And you know, I think the movie does actually like a really good job of trying to understand like that culture, because it can't just be like a handful of people going nuts. You know what I mean? Like it's clear there's clearly something bigger than that going on.
I mean, you know, in the Epstein files, it did say that they were, you know, both, you know, like targeting people on these websites, like 4chan and Reddit and stuff. You know, that they even have like genes that like interfere with people's thinking and stuff. Kind of crazy.
I mean, I do unironically think there is like you can draw, there is a line of profit involved with mass shootings in America, which is that a shooting happens, conservative politicians and moderate politicians, let's just call it, even some like quote unquote center left politicians, will sort of push the idea of, oh, now that this thing happened, the guns are going to be taken away, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. And then donations and gun purchases, donations to the NRA go up, gun purchases go up, and then the NRA and the gun manufacturers donate to the campaigns of those same lawmakers who refuse to do anything, and then push that same narrative every time it happens. So I do think there's at least there is like, people are making money off of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
Every corporate everything. I mean, look at the whole thing. Why are our grocery prices so high? Well, because we prove that we pay for it. So why the fuck would they ever be like, hey, we're gonna lower that for all these consumers? It's just pure corporate capitalist greed.
Yeah.
And that's what runs it all.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of,
but no, I thought this was such an interesting sort of like take on. I mean, it wasn't like an issue movie, you know, but like obviously there's a big issue at the center of the movie. And I think doing it this way was really interesting. And yeah, I just had like such a fun time at the movies, and they're both such fucking movie stars.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like
such
like vulnerable, beautiful performance. Like with his character, you really understand this character, which actually makes Robert Pattinson bumbling like 90s Hugh Grant even funnier. Like he's just such like so ill-equipped to handle this situation. Yeah. It's one of my favorite performances from him. He's so funny in this. Like
I love the era he's in right now. He's in such a self-aware, like him and Emma Stone, where he like, you know, it was Emma Stone, where they were talking about like, I guess the thing where he randomly FaceTimed her, and she's like, why would you do that? Just randomly FaceTime me. And he's like, oh, it's a Gen Z thing. And he had this whole thing back and forth, and she's like, you're not Gen Z, you're a millennial. And he's like, no, I'm Gen Z. Like just deadpan being himself.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Sorry, you're right. Yeah, I thought so. I thought those two are literally the same people. So
die, my darling. Yeah. He's having a good time right now.
Yeah. He's even like, I'll do a Twilight movie, you know, and she was just like, you won't. Why would you do that, you know? And he's like, I'll do that, you know. I love it. I'm excited to see what both of them have coming for us.
Yeah.
Like of the like current like new crop of movie stars, I'd say those two are my favorite.
Definitely.
Yeah, they're up.
Definitely.
For sure. Any final thoughts about the drama?
Just one last thing. I remember kind of when you and I went to go see it, when Alana has that line about when she hears for the first time what Zanaya did, and then she's like, my cousin is in a wheelchair. And then I burst out laughing at that, and no one else did. But then everyone laughed because they heard me laugh.
There was definitely, at least, I think both times I saw it, there's a part, what kind of, precipitates, I don't know. What precedes like the reveals of all this stuff is that they Zendaya and Robert think they saw their wedding DJ smoking heroin on the street.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're contemplating firing her. And a joke that I like cackled at both times and no one else laughed at is when their friend is like, about like, oh, she's smoking heroin. You're not going to fire her? What would you do if she was a pedophile? Which is just, it's pretty funny.
Topical.
But yeah.
It always comes back to Epstein.
It always will until Until everybody who's a bit older than us, I think, die, and then I think we can finally have once these old, oh man, chop go.
There's just gonna be a bigger guy who did worse things than Epstein who comes out, and they're just gonna every few years there's just gonna be a worse guy.
There's just gonna be a worse guy.
Hey,
you're like I'm not even attempt optimism. We're just gonna straight dig.
Look at this worse guy. I mean, aren't you so happy that you don't see what the even worse thing going on, that the next guy.
The disappearing thing is.
We'll know 10 years from now.
It's been, honestly, your appearance has been interesting to watch this entire. I'm like, man, how am I watching you do this?
I'm a ghost.
Yeah.
You are a ghost. I like it.
Well, thank you for joining us for the drama.
Yeah. I'm gonna go.
Oh, you just like you're kicking her out. She's just like,
I don't really have anything to add.
She didn't see any of the other movies, and she can't really play the games because like my screen is right here.
I could just keep ranting about Epstein bullshit.
I don't want that. I want you to get out of here.
I'm gonna go. Bye.
Bye, Nyra.
All right, we'll be done in a bit. Hey, can you close the door? Okay, cool. Earlier you almost gave me the inside door. That one. Yeah.
The trap door.
The trap door. You gave me a good transition earlier, and I didn't quite nail it, which was when you said talking about like corporate capitalism and stuff like that. Which, speaking of corporate capitalism and things like that, the new Mario movie. I got a Mario behind me.
Oh yeah, there he is,
and Mario himself.
Honestly, I would have enjoyed him a little bit more, even though he's just as deranged.
It's the casting of Chris Pratt is almost certainly the worst thing about these movies. Like in a kind of almost like spiritual level. Like he's not even the actual worst part of the movie, but it's like a spiritually.
Just knowing he's doing this.
The Super Mario Galaxy movie is the second Super Mario movie where Mario and his friends do Mario things. And, I will say this. I'm probably going to be the most positive here. I really wanted Alex here because he gave let me get these spoiler awards, spoiler things there's no spoilers for this movie. I'm going to be the most positive here. I still didn't necessarily like it that much or anything. I liked it. A lot of it is just like in comparison to the first one. The first one is like the David Ayer Suicide Squad, where like every other scene there's like a fucking needle drop. And this movie, whatever you want to give it, extremely reserved with the needle drops. Luigi.
It was the opposite of the first one.
Luigi sings like "When the Moon Hits Your Eye Like a Big Pizza Pie" second, just a cappella for a second. And then there's one needle drop when a character goes to the real world, which I think works. And then there's like another background one when a character's having a party, and that's it. And there's no other like pop music the whole time. And I also feel like I feel like he talks way less in this movie. I feel like they actually did.
I think so.
I think they took it because there are times. There are sequences in this movie that would be in the best version of this movie. And they are the sequences that revolve around the characters sort of like navigating a 3D space, which is sort of like what's the interest of the games and, could be a fun thing to do in the movies. And once or twice it gets there. It's also really funny that Benny Safdie voices Bowser Jr.,
Oh, hilarious! Yeah.
Did you not know that, Daisygreen? And
Donald Glover.
Yeah, the even funnier one. Donald Glover voices Yoshi, and you might be thinking to yourself, but Yoshi doesn't say anything really. Like, yeah, you're right. He doesn't really say anything other than like Yoshi and.
I did know that he was in it, but
yeah. I think he was even joking about how this is going to be his Oscar moment and stuff. Like, it's just
yeah.
I mean, it's well rendered with good orchestrations, and when it focuses on that, characters moving through space, I was having a good time. It does not make any sense, which, to be fair, neither do the games. The games.
It just got boring for me after a while.
For sure.
Yeah, even at 90 minutes, I was like, I am checked out.
If I had maybe taken some like an eighth of mushrooms, like the weed was just like,
yeah, we need
you know,
to fully, for the third one, we need to fully embrace the Mario spirit, and weed is not enough.
let's just do ayahuasca at Burbank 16 in the Dolby.
I think that my lizard brain, I think that like I know y'all played some Mario and stuff, but I like, I knew like all the shit basically, you know what I mean, like all the little references and stuff, and there's like a lizard brain part of me. I don't know, especially because like I thought they actually did kind of a good job at incorporating it. It was just like background stuff, you know what I mean? Like Pikmin show up at an airport or something, some shit like that, or you know, there's like a Rob at a terminal or whatever. And I mean, that's actually
those are the cues you're pulling from Spider-Man. I think, you know, almost like the way you utilize
Spider-Verse movies.
Spider-Verse, yeah, exactly. You know, where you're covering a lot of surface with minimal things.
I know. I really wanted Alex here because I had a gotcha question, which I did send him a text message, which was, Alex, you gave it half a star, the lowest rating you could give a movie on Letterboxd. What would you give a snuff film? And I asked him this via text, and he laughed at it. He also said,
it depends which one.
He said some stuff about like, oh well, you know, like what I'm rating on is relative to the film, and so I'd probably also give that like half a star. And long story short, it kind of just translated to like I would show a kid a snuff film. But
Alex is my favorite person.
Hey,
on Letterboxd,
you know what? If it shuts them up for an hour, I get it. These kids, like,
yeah,
you need your alone time.
Yeah, well, he gave like a half star, and like the review was just Jesus wept. And I feel like there are movies where that is a more applicable rating. Yeah. This is just like, yeah, it's exactly what you think it's going to be.
And also, for those that don't know Alex, it could sound like he is the ultimate edgelord film bro. He is like the sweetest human being ever.
For sure.
And like, so that's, I think, why I love his reviews, because you're like, wait, that comes from him, and he has such like, honestly, he has an incredibly great viewpoint, which is I think why we're all great friends with him, is because he does have that amazing film brain. But it is just funny to see his takes, because it is just like out of character, and it's almost that thing like I love to like make somebody feel like somebody else, like Casey. I love to, you know, I've always played with that dynamic where that is Alex. He's just like, you read him and you're like, this guy, and then you're like, oh, that guy. I love Alex.
Yeah.
Set a preface for those that don't know.
We did see Edwin was at the theater seeing a re-release of I forgot what it was, the John Woo movie, The Killer. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys just saw, but I actually just saw an update. He's at the Grove because he now gets free movies, and you know this is really well. He's one of those who gets a new job. He knows exactly how to be a company man. Basically, he said, "Oh, I got this movie thing. I guess it's time to check out at this shitty theater." Just right away, he's already like, you know, being himself with it. I love it. Edwin is the greatest.
The last thing I wanted to say for Mario Galaxy is they did not have the courage. They might be different characters, but I'm pretty sure the main little star character is the character in the video games known as Twink, and they did not call them Twink in the movie because they are they're cowards.
They're not that woke, I'll tell you. Can't do that shit.
It's hard to be woke in a movie that boring.
Yeah,
that is actually really true. Yeah, you gave that shit up, that whole middle section. You just, okay, this weird shit happening. Like Jem shows up, you know, just do it weird.
I thought it was funny that Star Fox was there just to call Mario cool the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're clearly gunning for a Smash Brothers movie in the long run, which I'm okay with. Fuck it. I mean, whatever. I mean, I've seen the writing on the wall for 10 years when people like a decade ago were complaining about superhero stuff, but only in the context of it being superhero stuff and not like it being like the corporate IP slop at the top. I was like, bro, like in a decade, it's not going to be that anymore. It's going to be video games and anime, and I have only been proven right. Once again, I would say that I have been proven correct
What key is this in?
Slow.
No, not tempo-wise.
And I think, like, people criticize these movies, and, I think that's good, but we gotta criticize the actual reasons and not make people who like them feel stupid, because maybe there's just some kid who likes this movie, and, you say that it's, like, not a movie, then what, they're not gonna watch Martyrs one day. And
that might not be the worst thing.
It's not like, yeah, it's fine.
If talking shit about Mario means somebody doesn't watch Martyrs, I might be okay with that.
But if they're like, hey, we'll just watch the first half. How's that? We'll just watch the first half.
The fun half, the pleasant half.
The fun half. Martyrs, yeah.
Let's move on from Mario. Those are a little grab bag. What was that movie you mentioned earlier, Daisygreen? Because that's a 2026 movie too, right?
Thrash.
Thrash.
Okay. I wanted to talk about my two least favorite movies I've seen this year so far.
Wow.
Which to be fair, I still kind of liked them both. But the first is Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride, which I think opening your movie with, have you seen this, Daisygreen? It opens with Jessie Buckley looking right into the camera and saying, "I am literally the dead ghost of Mary Shelley, and this is the story I actually wanted to tell." It's an insane choice. I'm not sure any movie could pull it off.
No.
It's really, that Mary Shelley stuff is really bad. I think it could have been pulled off abstractly, maybe a little bit more, if it like wasn't named as Mary Shelley and it was just like some ghostly figure or something. But the fact that she's literally just like, I am Mary, like, I need you to understand I'm Mary Shelley, is right. It's a choice. Yeah, it's a decision.
It is. That was basically, I think, the overall thing you could say about this movie. That there were a lot of choices. It's just those are choices.
Not enough.
I've seen it twice now. Once I saw it and I was baffled the first time, and then the only reason I did it is because I wanted to see. I saw it with Connor and our friend Bella, and I was just like, no, I need to see their reaction of this. And watching it the second time, I'm like, I hate this so much more.
Yeah,
like every time I watch this,
me and Bella, like, especially that, because it starts with like 5 minutes of the Mary Shelley stuff, and you're just it's the worst part of the movie, and then it, like, once it settles into the movie, it gets like a little more, you can kind of see what it just needed to be more something. It needed to be like funnier or weirder. Yeah. I kept thinking about like, what if like early Tim Burton, that kind of thing, or if it was just like way goofier and jokier.
It's mostly just a mess. I remember talking about like, it kind of feels like a Frankenstein's monster of like different ideas getting put together. Like, oh, maybe that's what she was going for. No, it wasn't. I want to be like, stop you right there. No, she just made a mess. But I'm actually fascinated by her as a filmmaker. Like, there's so much in there that's like, oh man, I remember watching this movie going like, this doesn't work, but I'd love to see something like because she meant this movie. You know what I mean? Like, even if it didn't work, she was sincere. And I'd love to see.
She's not a bad director per se.
No.
Something that just came together. I'd love to see something of hers. I didn't see her first film, but I would love to see something on this scale, this wild, that actually clicks. Yeah. Because just so much of it, even like from a plot standpoint, this is like towards the end, so like spoilers, but also who cares? When like the mob comes after them, and then Christian Bale's character Frank gets shot in the head, and then like he's almost dead. And I just remember thinking like, no one shot this guy in the head yet. Like, this is the first time
he's made it all these years.
That's their one weakness, bullets, and no one's tried it till now. Like it was my roommate Kyle put it best. Like, it's a movie that didn't quite know its rules. Yeah. I understood what she was doing, which is, we're at the point in the movie where the two characters need to be, almost debilitated. Like, from a story plot. And if I was enjoying the movie, maybe I would have let something like that slip. But I was very much not enjoying the movie by the time we got to that point. Yeah. So I was just like, this is also bullshit.
It felt like Bale. Like, Bale was good. I mean, all the all Buckley and Bale, they
were both
performances,
great.
but it almost felt like they were doing they were on two different sets the entire time. Like it just never felt like they were.
Buckley's almost too good, I would say. She's almost like so good that it makes her performance hard to watch because she's selling this bullshit so hard, and it's just like I'm like a worse actor, there would have been like almost a camp element to it, but there's not that to her, and so it almost made the one actor I really liked. The one thing Maggie Gyllenhaal understands is the star power of her brother. There's throughout the film, Jake Gyllenhaal plays a fake, old film star, and Frank keeps going to the movies and watching him, and he's in these old kind of like Busby Berkeley style musicals, and every time it cut to one of those, I was like, I want to watch this movie. And I kept thinking about there's like a crazy shootout at the end, and it'd be funny to edit that with like the Rambo or the Predator shootouts, and also
Predator, when he's shooting at the woods. Also
the opening when she's like, this is the story I wanted to tell, like tack that onto like Lord of the Rings or like a trauma film or something.
Trauma would be doing some one of those is the best.
Sausage Party.
Sausage Party work well. This is the problem with that. I would love to do so much editing of this weird shit, but in the moment you're just like, yeah, that sounds fun, and then you're like, do I want to do that?
Do I actually want to have to do this?
That's a lot of work. Yeah,
that's why.
You think about this setup.
I want someone else to do that. I want
somebody else.
I want to watch someone else do that.
I could make that. I could make that. Actually, I might make that. I'll put it up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's so easy to do. I mean, I have like Resolve open now. You just like do this, but it's like, do I really want to do that? Like in the moment, I'll do that.
But The Bri at least made me feel something, unlike my least favorite movie of the year, Scream 7, which is not horrible, but pretty bland, basically just doing what 4 and 5 already did. 4 and 5 kind of both do like legacy sequels, but 4 is like predictive and kind of funny, and 5 is like straightforward and serious. And this is just kind of a middle ground, but Sydney's like literally a mom this time. Some minor details that are interesting. These might be mild spoilers. There's like a fake out towards the middle where you think who or you find out who one of the ghost faces is, and it's just like some random guy. And there's some like AI stuff. And the opening's good. I do like the family. I think there is. I know, Scott, you've talked about how like the series has become what it was parodying originally, and I think there is more meat on the bone, but it needs to do something different. And this just doesn't do anything different. Like, I mean, even just
I think it credits. I was like, what's the point? I mean, it's just 100%. What's the point for even doing this?
I still think there's something to the idea of like, what if Ghostface was like 12 people? I think that's like a good. I mean, I've said that publicly so many times. If anyone ever hired me on to some sort of thing,
I think it's time for Ghostface to go to space. Personally,
that'd be cool too. Ghostface in the
just
future.
terrorize the astronauts and NASA.
Sydney was frozen.
Yeah, Sydney
for 2,000
years. I went all the way up to fucking space to get out of Ghostface, and look, he followed me to space. God damn it.
Yeah, the movie isn't as spiritually Israeli as its behind the scenes would imply, but it's also not good enough to escape that stink.
It's 3 pounds out.
Yeah. But yeah, I know Scott and Bri, you guys saw Hokum, which so no spoilers. I want to see it still.
No spoilers. Yeah, I have the easiest way of saying it. If you remove Adam Scott from this movie, it's a movie that on a Friday night I log on a Shudder and I'm like, fucking cool, good ghost story. But like in that sense, and it's not the one. And the biggest thing, it's not a spoiler, but like it is to me, what took me completely out of this one is there's one female character, and she actually kind of had a little bit of the little bit of backstory they gave was like, okay, it's interesting. And then you realize it's nothing more. She just utilizes a plot device, 100% multiple time plot device. And it was just so like just fucking amateur and stupid. I mean, it's cool the filmmakers he got to the point, because I know Neon has been doing a lot more with Shudder. Oddity and Caveat were interesting films, but like overall, I feel the same way. Like it's almost like just those three-star, okay, But that was the biggest thing that took me out, and that just shouldn't be in a movie that's like. And you know what? Hitting like a mainstream film like that is just an odd choice. Personally, I me, but I'm sure it'll do well. I mean, Adam Scott's great. It's Adam Scott. I mean, Scott and I went to a Q&A, and he was there, and he's great. It's a lot of fun, hearing that.
Where he did not sign my Parks and Rec box set.
He did not. Scott was ready for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought, Brian, you described the best movie called Run of the Mill. Just nothing that I haven't seen before. Haunted house kind of sort of movie. All of it was just like, I remember thinking I bet you I work with young people in this restaurant. It's I bet you the 19-year-olds I saw with would really like this and just be really scared by it.
You said the best comment ever that I'm actually stealing and I want to utilize, because there's so many film scenarios where this comes up, and you're like, well, if this is the first movie I've ever seen, it's pretty fucking great. And that's such a great way of putting so many of these things where you're like, look, if I'm 19 and I'm just seeing this thing, I'm like, yeah, it's fucking rad, or whatever. And then, and that's where they have a place. I mean, I think that's where my horror brain too is just I know where it's at because of how much I've seen, but that's also a certain place, but that is a spot on description of what that is for us.
I will say, we both agreed, very good performance from Adam Scott.
Yeah.
Is this what it's like for you guys when people are talking about a movie you haven't seen? Because it fucking sucks. I don't know what the fuck anyone's talking about. I just want to move on.
Fucking Irish. It's an Irish folklore. There's some Hokum spells. Adam Scott's dead parents. He's trying to spread ashes and falls into some shit.
We'll see what the big man thinks when it comes out in May. We might cover it a little more in depth later, but we'll see. We also, one movie that we did not talk about because nobody saw is Michael, which I thought about, but I decided not to because...
I mean, it did just come out.
It's only been out for 3 days, yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes we do that,
yeah.
And
that's not a movie that's doing that for me. Devil Wears Prada on Thursday. Yeah, I'm looking for that.
I've said this before. I know Scott and Bri have definitely heard me say this. I think when I say this, I'm not talking about box office. I'm not necessarily talking about critics, but I'm talking about culturally in terms of its impact outside of it just being a blockbuster. Michael is getting really bad reviews, so it's surprisingly bad reviews.
But I can't tell. Is it critical side? Because it seems that the fan side is I love this shit so hard.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that I think that relevant music biopics don't have the name of the person in it. You know what I mean? This movie, it's going to be a big box office hit, but it's not going to be. There's going to be no conversation about it other than why didn't they address all the stuff, the business? That's the only real conversation.
Well, they shot it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly all of those details. I know something had to do with it. I don't know. I think
yeah. I do, but continue.
And I think I kind of lost my train of thought a little bit, but let's see if I can get right back on it. You then go back, A Complete Unknown didn't win any awards, but it was definitely relevant in awards season. Walk the Line, Bohemian Rhapsody, not necessarily a good movie, but won awards. These don't have the names of the bands in them, so that's just a theory I have. That Springsteen movie that came out last year had Springsteen in it. Nobody fucking talked about it. Nobody gave a shit. So it
even goes back to that La Bamba. That even back in those days, that was the definitive story. I'm I have no idea who this guy is.
Right, totally. No, I mean, I think you're right in that sense of I know a bit of with the shooting, originally the impact that the abuse case had on him emotionally.
Yeah.
was the thrust of the third act. They shot it, and then they read the fine print that part of the deal with the kids' families was that they're never allowed to use this in it, profit off of it and use it in anything. So they had to reshoot a new third act. So a lot of the complaints have been this movie doesn't have it's not a whole movie, which I haven't seen it, but
Apparently, the sequel is going to be where they're going to start doing that, but that's just like, well, why
But they
would-
also still can't address that.
right?
Kid's,
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah,
you know.
why would you then say? Yeah, it's just like a
But luckily, there's a lot of other kids' accusations.
that's true.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
look,
you should animate them and just have like do a weird thing. You can get away with it somehow. Just call them a different name.
But I think the thing with, I mean, I have such mixed feelings about music biopics to begin with, but especially when it's like, obviously you kind of need the estate's like permission in a lot of ways if you're gonna do a biopic where you like are using the music, like doing all that kind of stuff. But also then it's like the estate, like whose estate isn't going to be like, oh no, leave that part out.
Well,
like leave all the bad stuff out.
Because it was basically made by the estate. I mean, it's essentially a hagiography, is my understanding, like more or less.
It's just approved final cut by the estate, basically.
And it's funny because like you can see like culturally and critically you can understand why that wouldn't be a hit, but in our current climate, but then like financially it is a hit because a lot of people in this country go, oh, that guy's a pedophile, it's fine, I love him anyways.
Well, I think also a big part of it is Michael Jackson died he died at the right time.
Yes.
Where like there was a cloud around him, but it was never like concisely, oh yes, he did this shit, like
he missed out on the whole thing with like if social media and TMZ existed, that shit would have been a whole different life. I mean, that's the I think about that. Like my entire 20s, it's just there's no film because it didn't exist. I'm old, but I'm happy for that. But think of what the amount of attention that Michael Jackson had at any given point in time was insane by just mainstream media. So I can't even imagine what it would be if you throw in social media in the way it is today in the mix. It'd be insane.
Would have been nuts. Yeah.
Well, speaking of nuts, I think it's anybody got any other 2026 movies they want to say anything about?
I don't think we ever talked about it, but I saw Crime 101.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I saw Crime 101.
Yeah. I dug it. I know a lot of people can like the obvious comparison was Heat.
Yes.
But to me, I thought like a better comparison would be Ben Affleck's The Town.
Sure.
I feel like it's more in that like TNT vein. Like if you compare it to Heat, it's like, well, I'm sorry, it's not going to come up. It's not going to compare to one of the best movies of the '90s. It does have like that sort of like romantic, romancing crime life, like just and my roommate he said they should have called it Nice Heat. That's kind of like once he said that I could not that's kind of what the movie is. It's Heat if everyone was just a little bit nicer.
I think that's being kind of nice to Crime 101. I don't think it. I only saw it because I thought the premise, it's about a criminal who does crime close to the 101, was
because that's what I was
really
asking.
Funny.
Is that what they utilized? Is they did play on the 101? Is like the
Yes.
101? Yeah. That's what, we figured that out. Like we were talking like a couple weeks before it came out. Daniel and Connor and I was like, "That's what I hope they did that. That's great."
Yes, that is what they did.
The tagline is always have an exit.
Nice. But there was a lot to it that I think it was like I don't think Chris Hemsworth's character really made any sense. Okay. Was my issue, where it was kind of like you sort of need someone who can pull off like really like fucked up but not talking about my past, like kind of like very eccentric guy channeled into criminal activity who sort of is just like waiting to fall in love with someone to then like live a straight life. And like he doesn't, that's not what he's like giving off. He's kind of giving just like a lot of nothing. It was my personal experience with the film.
Definitely a little bland and just
just very bland. I would say bland Heat more than nice Heat.
I mean,
So
it came out in March, and I've forgotten most. Like Halle Berry's in it. I kind of like. I was like, oh, that's right.
She was fine.
Yeah,
you could say that it was a temperate heat.
You could. Yeah.
Any other 2026 movies?
Let me see. I'm sure I'm the only one here who saw Yumi and Tuscany. More rom-coms in theaters. What else? No.
Well, if people are having to, I don't want people to list it. Just if you have something top of mind more.
I mean, well, I will say this, but just real quick. I am so excited for Obsession. I actually just watched Milk and Cereal. Yeah, it's like this dude. He did like a found footage film. It's on YouTube. It's like an hour, a little over an hour, and it's called Cereal and Milk. And it's really really crazy to the point where like they gave him this film, and it's the concept is like you get one wish. And it's basically this dude who like he's pining for the girl, the whole thing, and it's like I just wish she would love me more than anybody else in the entire world. Does the thing. Well, she literally does that, but in the most like maniacal psycho way where it's like just she becomes like obsessed to another level. It looks pretty insane and like slasher-esque and in a little wide the gore, and I think it'll be pretty fun.
That's fun.
From what I've heard, yeah. So that, and then obviously Backrooms, I am so beyond excited for it. I was just reading that for Kane Parsons, they built him a 30,000 foot like stages of the room to the point where like crew were getting lost in them. Yeah. Which is fucking dope. I'm excited.
We'll do like a
That's
Summer
awesome.
Screams episode for sure about those.
Yeah.
I think. But it's time to move on to Connor's Wicked Game, sponsored by Chris Isaac. Tonight, the grand return of who and what and when and who else. Beloved format returns. I'm going to read 2 credits, as in the names of 2 characters that were performed by the same actor the same year. You got to tell me first who the actor is. Then you can name the 2 movies and year it came out. Each of these is worth 1 point. So, for instance, if I gave the clue Edward Lemuel / Guy Moratz and Donald Trump, you would answer Sebastian Stan and A Different Man and The Apprentice 2024, which is the movie, that episode when we covered that is where this game comes from. Only one person can get each of these points, so we're going to go one at a time. It's not everyone's going to get the answer. You'll go until you fail. The next person will go. We'll sort of switch who starts in the order and stuff like that. So keep me honest on that. After we guess that stuff, I have a thing on IMDb where I have everybody else who the movie shares, the 2 movies, like crew and stuff. You'll get to wager how many other people you think are involved. This info, closest gets 2 points. I will say this, at least one of these involves a movie that's not out yet, so it's possible that by the time it is out yet, there will be more people. Yeah, and you can also guess on who these specific collaborators were. But we're gonna start with let's start with Bri. Bri, who played Charlie Thompson and Scytale, the villainous Talaxu face dancer, the same year?
I have no idea. Genuinely.
Daisygreen.
Robert Pattinson.
Correct. Can you name the movies?
20. The Drama.
And
what was the face dancer?
You can name the year also.
Oh, 2026.
Scytale, the villainous Talaxu face dancer.
Scytale, the villainous Talaxu. What movie would that have been? I don't know that one.
Scott?
Who will be playing that character in Dune Part 3.
That is correct. I put that one first. I wouldn't have normally, but I did also make it a point to say Scytale, the villainous Talaxu face dancer earlier in the episode. So sometimes I will do that where I'll plant a little piece of
seed of knowledge.
Bri, starting with you. Well, one, do you have any guesses? Who else could be in both of those films, in the drama in Dune Part 3?
Zendaya.
Yeah, that's a point for Bri. And then,
Oh wait, I could have said that.
Well, that.
But I didn't know what the movie was.
We just got to this point, so you wouldn't. Bri is the only one who got the thing.
And honestly, it's only because you literally just said I had no idea what that meant. Like I was just like, I don't know, man. Like he's in some fucking fantasy somewhere. I don't know.
And then lastly, and everyone gets to wager, I guess. Besides Robert Pattinson and besides Zendaya, how many other people, cast and crew, are shared between these two movies? Bri, you get to make a guess.
9.
Daisygreen?
12.
Scott?
I'm going to say it's just those two.
That's 2 points for Scott. As of now, at least, it's only those two.
I can see
Guys just did the $1 Price is Right move. You fucking undercut us both.
I don't see a lot of the crew from the drama being like, and now it's time we head back to working on Doom.
You don't know.
You never know.
Apparently, I do.
Daisygreen, we're starting with you on this one. Who played... Wait a minute. Sorry, I'm closing some tabs. Who played James Logan Howlett / Wolverine and King Arthur / himself the same year?
Well, I mean, Hugh Jackman?
Yes, huge jacked man. Can you name the
King
years or either
Arthur's-
of these, or the year?
Well, was it in Logan?
Scott, any guesses?
Damn.
Wait, we can't hear you for some reason.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you say the two characters' names again?
James Logan Howlett / Wolverine and King Arthur / himself. Which I think in the first case, that's like an alter ego where it's like the same character. Whereas I think in the second case, it's meaning he plays King Arthur and also he plays himself.
Yeah. Say the Wolverine and Night at the Museum 3.
I have to... hold on. I gotta look up something. I have to look up something. There's something I have to... There's a piece of information I need to find.
Your research music cue.
Research music. Okay, that's 1 point for Scott. You got the Night at the Museum. I had it written down, Night at the Museum, Secret of the Tomb. I did not have Night at the Museum 3 written down, so I had to look
There's
up.
no way I'm going to remember the fucking subtitle.
But you were wrong about the Wolverine, so, Bri, you get the chance to guess which X-Men / Wolverine movie we're talking about and what year this may be.
I think I know how it relates. Does that help me do anything? Like, 'cause I think wasn't one like a... Because he does a lot of Broadway or stage play shit. Doesn't something like that?
No, it's not relate. Can you, please?
I'm just trying to... I'm just...
Name the name of the movie or the year.
Let's say 2013.
Oof, so close. It's 2014. Daisygreen, can you... You know what? I'm going to say that there's nobody else involved in these two movies anyone's going to be able to guess. Daisygreen, how many people do you think worked on this movie besides Hugh Jackman, but worked on both movies besides Hugh Jackman?
4.
Scott?
I'm going to say 15.
Bri?
73.
Well, Bri is correct. The correct
73?
the correct answer is 302.
Damn! Everybody.
I was just like, I honestly just
They
went to the
just
math.
used the whole crew.
This whole
totally
thing honestly
surprised.
is just Price is Right part of the game, so that we play.
Fox movies.
There's probably a lot of
I
the
can see
same.
that.
I mean, that's exactly what happened with Conan the Destroyer and Dune, the David Lynch Dune.
Yeah.
They say they shared literally everything, including all the sickness.
Scott, who played Edward Nashton / the Riddler and Burt Fableman the same year? Say that again.
What I just say, Stag's Limpus Dick, Mr. Paul Dano.
Yes. And what movies are these?
The Batman and the Fablemans.
And what year?
2022.
That's 4 points for Scott, and there's nobody else relevant. But how many other people do we think were involved?
93.
Bri?
$1.
Daisygreen?
17.
It's 2 points for Daisygreen. You were the closest at 13. Bri, who played Paul Sunday / Eli Sunday and Chris the same year?
Paul Dano.
And what are these movies?
There Will Be Blood.
/ the year.
What is it? Is it 2000? Oh God. 2000. Shit, I'm so bad with these sometimes, the year ones. 2014.
Daisygreen.
2007.
That is 2007. And
Yeah, of course. Oh my God, dude, I forget how many years we are. Like I was trying to equate it by like where I saw it. Like I can imagine.
I know.
theater.
I was like, I saw it at Lincoln Square. So
yeah.
I was in high school.
I was in the East Coast. Yeah, I'm the same thing. I'm just like, I didn't see it here, but I've been here so fucking long now.
And any guess at that other movie?
Wait, sorry. What was the? Okay, he guessed There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood is correct. 2007, as you said, is correct. Paul Dano is correct. There's another movie. It's the one where he either played Paul Sunday / Eli Sunday, or the movie where he played Chris.
That classic role of Chris.
Classic role of Chris. I feel like this is the wrong year, but Little Miss Sunshine.
Scott?
The Girl Next Door?
This is a movie from 2007 called Weapons.
Oh.
Okay.
Bri, any guesses how many other people, collaborators these two movies share?
20.
Daisygreen?
1.
Scott?
42.
That's 2 points for Daisygreen because it is 0.
Nice.
Not even big. They just made that rogue.
Daisygreen, who played John Tibbetts and Alex Jones the same year?
What movie was Alex Jones portrayed in? Can I guess the year first?
I need the name first, unfortunately, the way we're doing this stuff.
Jonah Hill.
Scott.
What was the first character's name?
It was John Tibbetts.
I don't know. Melissa McCarthy. She'd make a good Alex Jones.
Brian?
I'm gonna disagree. I mean, the only thing I don't even know exists. It's like that. It's a documentary. It's like the people versus Alex Jones. But
this was also Paul Dano in 12 Years a Slave, which is John Tibbetts, and Prisoners, which his character is named Alex Jones.
The little person, the movie I just saw fucking 2 weeks ago. Right.
That's in
My brain retains a lot of information, clearly.
2013. Daisygreen, any guesses?
I knew 2013. I could tell you 2013.
Any guesses how many other collaborators?
Because I saw that at college. Other collaborators. What are the movies again? 12 Years a Slave and Prisoners?
Mm-hmm.
6.
Scott?
3.
Bri?
22.
That's 2 points for Bri. It's 15. So you're close. It almost split between you and
I'm really good at guessing.
I think we're starting now with Scott again. Who played Reverend Judd Duplessis, and Thomas Dusty Fraser Jr. the same year?
What?
Reverend Judd Duplessis and Thomas Dusty Fraser Jr.
Nicolas Cage.
Bri?
And that's wrong?
Yes.
I would have said the same thing. Those are like perfect Cage character names. Steven Seagal.
Daisygreen?
Paul Dano.
No, I thought you were going to get this one. This was Josh
Oh, is it Robert? No, Josh.
It's Josh O'Connor and Wake Up Dead Man and Rebuilding from last year.
Wow. Both of which I've seen.
Scott, how many other collaborators do you think these two films share?
4.
Bri?
1.
Daisygreen?
20.
It's 0, so that's 2 points for Bri. Bri, you're starting
What
out.
was his name in Rebuilding?
Something Dusty, something or other. I already deleted it
Dusty.
off my document.
Dusty McDuster.
Dusty McDuster. Bri, who played Max and Ray Charles the same year?
My brain is just, I'm picturing him. Mm-hmm. I know that doesn't help my cause at all. I'm thinking. I feel like, did you guys, by the way, sidebar, did you guys see Russell Brand try to read through the Bible on Piers Morgan? If you haven't, go see it. It's the most amazing.
Trying to pivot and give me an answer.
Well, no, actually, I want to hear more about this.
It actually is amazing. It really is. Almost had it. Steven Seagal.
Daisygreen.
Jamie Foxx.
God damn it. That's exact.
Movies / year.
Ray.
Okay. Correct.
What year was Ray? 2004?
Correct.
Max Charles.
Just Max.
Just Max.
Charles is Ray Charles' last name.
Right.
Well, yes. I thought maybe he played Max Charles.
And Ray Charles the same
Ray
year.
Charles. Okay, Max.
Yeah, that was in the movie Max.
That movie's
what
wild.
else? What else came out in 2004? Damn. I don't know.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Or do I?
Yeah.
Collateral.
That is indeed the name of his character from the feature film Collateral. Bri, how many people you think these two motherfucking movies share besides the old Jamie Foxx?
1.
Daisygreen?
15.
Scott?
3.
That's 2 points for Daisygreen. It's 11 or 12.
Oh,
nice.
One of those, but you're closer to it either way.
I remember that was kind of category for that year because he got nominated for supporting actor for Collateral.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
he's clearly
It's
the main
his
character.
movie. He's the main character.
Yeah, but they want to like get in the way of his Oscar for Ray.
It's like when The Favorite came out, and like I mean, Emma Stone's the main character, but you know, I guess the I forget what's her name again, the lady who got nominated for Best Actress for that, even though she's not the main character.
Colman?
Yeah, she's like she's the MacGuffin essentially of the movie.
But didn't she win supporting?
No, Emma. You mean, or Olivia Colman? No, Olivia Colman was nominated for lead for The Favorite. Which is weird. Again, it doesn't really make any sense because like narratively, she's not. At least she's in it a lot, you know.
Yeah.
Rachel
Weisz is the lead.
Yeah. Well, the two of them are co-leads, I would say. Her and Emma Stone.
Yeah.
Oh, you think Olivia Colman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daisygreen, who played Nan Niska and Amanda Waller the same year? Naniska and Amanda Waller.
Naniska and Amanda Waller. Emma Stone.
Scott?
Viola Davis.
That is correct. Can you name movies and or year?
Suicide Squad.
Wrong.
Brian. Oh no!
That was my thought too. So it seemed like some sort of courtroom or something, kind of courtroom drama or something. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Steven Seagal.
Well, you're obviously in the right. I mean, Amanda Waller is her character from the DC.
Yeah.
But this was she appeared. He had a brief appearance in Black Adam, which was the same year as The Woman King in 2002.
Yeah, The Woman King. I like how that my brain went to courtroom drama for some reason.
And Daisygreen, how many do we think these movies share besides old Viola?
200.
Scott?
Go the other way.
What'd you go with?
Oh, one.
One. Bri?
What was Daisygreen's?
She said 200.
201.
That's 2 points for Scott. It's 9.
Price is Right rules are great.
And Scott, who played Penelope and Andrea Andy Sachs the same year. Satch? Penelope and Andrea Andy Sachs.
Ana de Armas.
Bri?
Who? What? And one more time. Like, what's the question?
Penelope and Andrea Andy Sachs.
I have no idea.
Daisygreen?
It's Kate Hudson.
Incorrect. It's Anne Hathaway in The Odyssey and The Devil Wears Prada 2, which are both coming out this year.
That's Andy Sachs. Wait, what is why did I think that was Kate Hudson's name in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days? She also.
Well, Scott, how many other people do we think are in these movies besides Anne Hathaway? Say that again.
14.
Bri?
4.
Daisygreen?
70. And for the record, her name, Kate Hudson's name is Andy.
It's 8, so that's points for Scott. All right, everybody's gonna get to start one more. Are we on the last circle? Bri, who played Bobby and Ryuk the same year? Who played Bobby and Ryuk?
And if only I could recall who Ryuk was. obviously.
Any guesses?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Daisygreen?
Bobby and Ryuk?
Yep. You're
I have no idea.
Scat?
Timothy Chalamet.
No, this was close. This is Willem Dafoe in The Florida Project and Death Note from 2017.
Okay.
Bri, any guesses how many other collaborators these two movies share?
One.
Daisygreen?
50.
Scott?
0.
That's they share 3, so that's 2 points for Bri.
Scott, you tried to undercut me. Win.
Went on the wrong side. Should have gone 2. Daisygreen, who played Cade/Kale Altair and Self archive footage the same year?
What?
Cade/Kale Altair and Self archive footage.
That's Neil Breen.
Hell yeah.
Yes, and can you name either of these movies or the year?
What was the awful name of that film we watched? Oh,
How dare you?
Nothing's wrong with the name.
Yeah.
no, I know, but I can't. It had pear in the title, I think. But for some reason, the Thai place Ruined Pear is coming to mind, and that's wrong. A Strange Pear.
Close.
I'm gonna give you half a point, Scott.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you the other half a point. Scott, can you name?
Wait, what is it?
A Twisted Pair.
Twisted Pair.
Scott, can you name the year, and or the other thing?
No.
Bri?
What's the other thing?
Self archive footage.
I'm confused what that means.
It means like he appeared as himself in like a documentary or something.
Neil Breen does?
Yeah.
He's got that documentary where it's shot from like under his crotch the entire time, where he's just it's the making of like a bunch of his films. Whatever that is.
I'm going to give you half a point. It's not that one specifically, but it is the making of Neil Breen's Twisted Pair documentary from 2018.
Incredible.
It's like shot like the framing and the like what right there tells you what kind of filmmaker he is. I mean, it's amazing.
Daisygreen, how many other people do you think worked on these two films besides Neil Breen?
Well, I think a better question is how many positions did Neil Breen have on this?
Yeah.
These films?
Yeah, both
7.
credited and fake credited until
Yeah.
credits.
12.
Scott? 8. Bri?
0. Neil Breen is the universe.
It is only 1. It's some guy. I forget the guy's name. I just deleted the thing.
His pal Steve.
He has like a buddy who like helps edit all of his film. Actually, no, it's some other lady. Actually, it's not that person. I just checked the thing, so I don't know what the fuck is going on there. But that's 2 points for Bri. Scott, lastly, who played himself and himself the same year?
Fuck you. I do Chris Pratt.
Bri?
I really think it's this one this time is Steven Seagal.
Daisygreen? You're closer.
Nicolas Cage.
No, this was Donald Trump in Eddie and the Associate in 1996.
Wow.
How many other collaborators do you think are in that? And Scott?
47 in honor of his presidency.
Bri?
I refuse to answer out of.
I'll say this: whoever gets this right wins first place.
3.
You still refuse?
Morals are out the window. You can win.
What'd you say again, Scott?
47.
Daisygreen?
4.
You said what? 47, Scott?
4-7, yeah, 47.
That's 2 points for Daisy Green.
Man,
it is
you honestly,
17.
you Price is Right at
Wow.
me, and I respect the game that you just handed.
Daisy Green with 17 points, Scott with 14, and Bri with 13. Those
Nice.
so it was very close. Scott, do you want to do your little bit?
Yes.
All right, let's go to Scott for.
All right, welcome to Scott's Comic Corner, brought to you by Eric Clapton and the NRA. We're having a bad weekend. So, this week's big release...
Every weekend.
Every weekend, yeah.
Yeah. This week's release was Superman, or actually, it's Spider-Man Superman. It was the Marvel version. The DC version came out last month. That was Superman Spider-Man. I like this one a lot. I don't know if it was quite as good as the DC version, but still, I don't know. These characters work really well together. They have a lot of fun stories together. There's a little difference. There was the Spider Noir version in the 1930s Spider-Man in this one that was a lot of fun. So yeah, if you liked that crossover, the one from last month, I can't imagine you not liking this one. I don't know if DC and Marvel are going to do any more. I know the Batman Deadpool ones were the first ones they did in over 20 years. And then this one came out a year later, so they seem to be liking it. I don't know if it's going to continue or not. But,
they're doing some Infinity comic Jeff the Landshark / Aquaman thing. So that's a thing. Yeah, no, I read the previous one and I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good actually because it was so focused on, like, the Batman Deadpool ones were good, but they also were just kind of like focused all over the place, whereas this one really focused on pairing up all of like Spider-Man's characters with Superman's characters. So there's like a Lois Jane, what the fuck? There's a Lois Lane Mary Jane story, for instance. There's like a Ben Parker Pa Kent story, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and this one kind of stays closer to that, where like it's not. Yeah, because like I remember the Batman Deadpool, like there was a Daredevil Green Arrow one written by Kevin Smith because he had written both those characters years ago, type of thing. But neither of those have really anything to do with Batman or Deadpool. Where this was a lot more. I'd say the difference is in the last issue was a little bit more of like Uncle Ben and John, where this is more like different versions of Spider-Man, different versions of Superman.
Okay, cool. Well, anybody got anything else? Like a motherfucking. I didn't even change my background. What? I'm slacking today. I gotta put. Speaking of Spider-Man, anybody like anything else? I'm a motherfucking into genocide in Palestine, Sea, and everywhere else. I have nothing.
No, I'm good. I mean, we talked about most of them today.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of stuff. So
we saw Popstar. It's still great.
Yes.
I was so sad. I watched Popstar at home right before they released that they were going to be playing it, and I was like, "Well, I just saw it."
Crazy!
Worthy to see it again.
Crazy timing. Brilliant film.
It went so hard. Like there was not a moment that the audience was not laughing. Like it was just consistent. It was such a vibe for sure.
I'm glad it's having a little renaissance.
We sat like actually directly right in front of Connor was Daniel Reinhardt, and it was just fun like watching them.
Schneider or whatever.
No, Scheinhardt. Scheinhardt.
You said Reinhardt like Lily Reinhardt from Forbidden Fruits.
It's
close though. It is close. But yeah, no. One of the Daniels, the best director winners, sat right. Like I could have just like whap, like slapped him right on top of the head if I had wanted to, if I had been so inclined, but I was not.
Nice.
But yeah.
Well, you guys should all come to Wrong in Netflix is a Joke on May 9th.
Hell yeah, I will. I'll try to come to that. But yeah, well, I'm not sure exactly when we'll be back. It's my birthday next couple of weeks, so I'm going to be out of town. James Bond Club will continue next month with The Man with the Golden Gun and The Spy Who Loved Me. I want to thank Bri here for our outro. Share this episode with your local school shooter. And follow us, Cinema Curse 666 on TikTok and Instagram. You could smash that like button, share with your friends, and I think that's about it.
And don't forget to say, you have to say, like, ring that bell for reminders or something.
Ring that bell. I said smash that like button. That might be that's a new thing.
It, but then you do know, because it's notifications. If you ring it, that means they will get an alert when you post something new.
That's some Gen Alpha stuff. I'm not doing that.
I'm Gen Z, so I wouldn't know. But
you and Robert Pattinson, Gen Z.
Very Gen Z.
All right. Bye.
Bye.